Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video I wanted to talk about what happens after you reach 1320 AFK stage. So then every 10 stages you're going to begin getting 25 talent essences compared to getting 15 prior to this. I think once you get to AFK stage 960, if I'm correct, is when you start gaining the red talent essences, and then from that point on you're going to get 15, but once you make it to 1320 you're going to be getting 25. And this is really helpful because this will allow us to unlock the talents for the stage 3 and stage 4 much more rapidly now. And I'm expecting pretty soon we're even going to be able to unlock stage 4 because, for example, I filled up the Wilder stage 3 right now and I'm working on another one, and then as soon as we can get 120 talents overall, which also is considering your base talents, not only the stage 3 4 talents, you're going to be able to unlock stage 4 and upgrade into that. Now, I want to talk about which factions gain the most value from upgrading the skills in their stage 3. So we'll talk about that right now. But this is just kind of a good news so that once you get to the higher AFK stages, you're going to gain more talent essences and be able to upgrade your tree more. And I'm expecting probably, I would imagine, like even when we make it to like maybe 300 or 400 AFK stages higher than we're currently at, we're probably going to be getting maybe more than 25 per each 10 floors. So it means that the end is in sight, basically, of being able to get enough talent essences to max out most of your factions you care about. Okay. Alright, so what I've done is Wilder faction, but I do not think necessarily the Wilder faction is the strongest stage 3 skills to unlock. I think definitely hands down Celestial Hypogean is the best one. There's the Celestial Hypogean skill upgrades you get, specifically this new skill effect. If both prime carriers remain in the battle, both the light and dark spells will activate simultaneously every 6 seconds, and the effect radius of both spells extends to 2 tiles. The 2 tile buff radius compared to 1 tile is really big, and it helps with AFK stage pushing a lot for talent stages. However, the reason I haven't upgraded it is because for me it will not be very useful, because really when you want to get a good Celestial Hypogean team going, you'll want to have Phrastor, Scarlet, and Talene all built up, at least to Mythic Plus each. Then you can probably invest into this. If you're missing out on one of those, then the team is less effective. Because I've asked people, and I've even tried it myself. For example, if I use like my Epic plus Talene and Phrastor and Scarlita in a Celestial Hypogean team comp, I can still activate the tiles and I can still get a lot of value. But there are some stages that have so much tankiness that, for example, you need the Talene damage to burst through them. And so it's kind of important to have all of them built up. So I would recommend, if you have these heroes built, then definitely, there's no question, the first one you should be leveling on stage 3 is rushing to getting this new skill effect. And you should just level right down the middle of the tree. In total, it will take 30 for each of these small nodes, and 60 for this middle skill upgrade. And then for the final node, it will take 210. So in total, it will be 330 talent essences to get up to 24 faction talents and get the major skill effect. This should be your first upgrade if you have those heroes built up. And it's really the most impactful upgrade. When we take a look at all of the major skill upgrades of the other factions, like for example, Wilders is a really used faction for AF talent stages, even for Supreme Arena. This is not really powerful. I mean, it increases the damage a little bit for an extra projectile at the weakest enemy, but it's not really changing anything. It's like a little bit of extra damage. It doesn't help you with your crowd control. It doesn't help you with any sort of like scalability other than a little bit of extra damage, which will not make much of a difference honestly for talent stages, and really for Supreme Arena I don't think it makes much of a difference. The Mauler faction is really interesting, and like for Supreme Arena definitely, I think the Mauler would actually be the most game-changing one, apart from Celestial Hypogean. But then the thing is, Mauler is not used that much in talent stages of AFK, so it feels kind of like a waste to invest into this. And also probably in your Supreme Arena defense, you probably only have at most one Mauler related team to take advantage of this, but this is really strong. The prime carriers are immune to the first fatal blow they take. They are then immune to all damage and become unaffected for 5 seconds. Like this onto Shakira, or like other heroes, you can put Coco in the prime carrier tile. A lot of people do that. This can be really crazy and really strong. Really an impactful skill upgrade for the new skill effect for the final node of stage 3. And so I would I would recommend this if you're really focused on PvP. Yeah. And then if we take a look at the other ones, for example, the Lightbearer one I think is the worst, in my opinion, when the Prime Carrier is defeated. So first of all, the only way you get value from this is if your Prime Carrier dies. Okay, and most of the time you don't want your Prime Carrier dying, especially for AFK stages. It's usually Tassi. She's not going to die the whole fight, so you're never going to get value from it. And even if it does die, then the Shadow gains 100 energy per second and automatically casts the ultimate. You get one extra ultimate cast, which is already weaker because it's from your Shadow. And then disappear from the battlefield. Honestly, I think this is probably the worst new big skill upgrade that you can get. All of these other effects are going to be like boosts to their previous skills, so I'm not going to really be covering them in detail, but I do think for Lightbearers, like, this skill upgrade is pretty nice. And for all the factions, like, this is the reason I've leveled up Wilders, is because these stats are helpful. They're going to help you everywhere. And for Supreme Arena and now for Clash Runs, I have 3 Wilder defenses for Clash Runs, 2 for Supreme Arena. So I was like, let's max out the Wilder tree and to just benefit my PvP the most in terms of the stats and the upgrades. And that's definitely an option. And like, for example, the Primal Lord will be coming out. If Lightbearer is actually going to be the optimal team, definitely we want to upgrade this tree for all of the stats. But this final one, you still probably don't want to upgrade because your Prime Carrier should not be dying. So like, yeah. But all of these other ones would boost the damage. Okay, Mauler, really good new skill effect. Apart from that, these are okay. Moving on to Graveborn. So Graveborn, I don't like this Graveborn. I mean, it's okay. First of all, Graveborn is not really even that much used in Supreme Arena, and in talent stages, it is not used at all. I haven't seen a single Graveborn team for talent stages, so there's just better options. So it's really only Legend Trial or Supreme Arena, which is too niche of a use, in my opinion, to upgrade it. But as for the skill effect, it marks the farthest enemy as a sacrifice, and the sacrifice will lose HP up to 60% of the Prime Carrier's attack every second for 15 seconds. Now, 60% of the Prime Carrier's attack. This is going to be pretty, like, I mean, it's actually, because it's losing HP equal to 60% of the Prime Carrier's attack, is basically like true damage of 60% of the Prime Carrier's attack per second for 15 seconds. It's not bad. Like, this is going to make a difference in fights, but it's not enough to kill, like, a backline enemy. You'll have to have some other form of damage to kill them. So for Supreme Arena, I can understand it, but like, I would not recommend it because you need to level up the other ones first. So it's really just back to the Celestial Hypogen one, which is insane. Also, they become synchronized. So you have the Dark Hole pulling them together, and then the stun and true damage, all on the grouped up enemies. It's just a lot of value. Wait, not this one. It's this one. Yeah, to 2 tiles. Because before this, even when you unlock the Dark Buff tile, it's also going to proc every 6 seconds, but they're on a different, like, staggering period. One starts after 6 seconds, one starts after 3 seconds, and they're 1 tile. But once you get to this new skill effect, the Dark Hole becomes, Black Hole becomes up to 2 tile radius, pulling in more, and then the light is going to trigger on top of that, stunning and dealing the true damage. And every 6 seconds. So this is the big upgrade. And these ones are also really big. Like, even before you have enough to go for the major skill effect, if you have a few amount of talent essences, like the stun target is good. The true damage is okay. I think the stun is probably more important. Okay. We need to take a look at stage 4, but basically that is why I've gone for Wilders, for the stats more than anything. I mean, the new skill effect is fine, but it is not really changing much. And really, the only big one is the Celestial Hypogean one for everywhere, PvP as well as AFK talent stages. The Mauler one is specifically for PvP, and Wilder one is kind of a bit for both, but not really needed in either. Now, when we look up at the other upgrades, on stage 4, thankfully, or, well, I don't know if it's thankfully or not, but basically there's not going to be any major new skill effect. They're just going to be minor upgrades to all of their abilities, and what it seems like is the first skill upgrade is actually the most impactful. Like, this attack speed increase, in my opinion, is more impactful than the increase of attack speed while the shield is active. If we take a look at the Lightbearers, it is going to be... Yeah, I don't even like this one. I think, honestly, I'm going to be leaving Lightbearers at 29 faction talents without this upgraded and without going into this tree for a long time. Unless we just want to go for more stats and some of these other skill upgrades, because this is pretty wasted, in my opinion, and this is pretty bad. Mauler is going to be... This is a strong upgrade. Wow. 12 seconds of unaffected instead of 8 from the beginning of the match. That is a really good one. So Mauler, again, for PvP, this is going to be king, but for other areas, not really needed. Yeah, shield. It doesn't matter. Yeah, this one, Graveborn, doesn't matter. Celestial Hypogen, what do they have? 20 energy for all allied prime carriers for every enemy hit. That is a pretty strong buff. Charging their energy faster, they can get off their ultimates. So I do like this one. I think this is a pretty impactful one, the Celestial Hypogen stage 4. These other ones are going to be minor upgrades. This stun will be important, and then just for the stats. So really it will come down to which teams you want the stats on the most. If you have Celestial Hypogen heroes, Forester, Scarlita, Talion, all up to Mythic Plus or above, then you go for Celestial Hypogen #1 priority, and you try to get this new skill effect as quickly as possible. So you just go right down the middle, and you ignore the sides. You can go for the sides when you don't have enough talent essences to get to the middle. You need 330 in total, but once you have enough, you need to reset and go down the middle. This is a really important skill effect. And then you can just max out the rest of the tree to give more stats. It will help you in your Supreme Arena as well. Wild is for the stats, and that is pretty much it. So let me know what you guys think about these different stage upgrades. But it's really good news that we're getting more talent essences, and also we're pushing talent, like AFK stages, way faster than in the previous season. Like 1,351 at 1 month into this game, or the new season. It was definitely not like that last season. I think, I can't remember exactly. Maybe it was. I don't know, but it feels like after reaching like the stage 1,200, 1,300, it's not actually getting harder, it's actually getting easier to push stages. So that's something you can look forward to, and getting the more talent essences is really valuable. Because I just want to get, as soon as we get enough talent essences to max out like the key trees we care about, then we don't really need to push AFK stages anymore. Because after stage 1,200, you're not gaining any diamonds, you're not gaining any rate up recruitments, it's just for the season essence for levels and talent essence. And the season essence for levels is only really going to be useful in Primal Lord, which will coming up, but after that Primal Lord is done, I think our levels won't matter. Like once we reach level 800, which is the soft level cap for this season for Dream Realm and Supreme Arena, the future levels will not matter. So you can really slow down AFK stage pushing after you have your talent essences to upgrade your major trees, and then once you reach level 800 of the season level. And then maybe at that point, we shouldn't be using instant AFK for paid for the diamonds, but I don't know, that's going to be another topic, and it's always safe to always use your maximum instant AFK attempts with the diamonds as well. But you can also hoard them, because they stack for a while. I don't know if they save up for a week or what. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Good luck with your AFK stage pushing. I just made a video before this about how we got Tossie to Mythic Plus, and actually Supreme with the Acorns at plus 10 exclusive equipment, and she has helped my AFK stage pushing so much. So I really, like, if you were thinking on the fence of Tossie, now is basically swinging you in the direction of actually pulling for it, because of her great use in the talent stages for this season. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That is going to be it for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.